Hello,
I wish I could
everybody. My name
smoking
is
weed right
Fatal
now.
Asylum, and welcome to Monster World Hunter. I would live stream this series for you, but Capcom is a bitch concerning copyright. So hopefully this video won't get a copyright strike. We'll see. Notice the enthusiasm in my voice when I bring up Capcom. Fuck Capcom. But in serious, Capcom made an amazing game in this, and I'm only probably about an hour in, and I'm already loving it. But Brock here, say hi, Brock.
Hi!
Brock is going to be getting the game tomorrow. It's currently Saturday. He's going to get the game tomorrow on Tuesday. Oh no, they're not open on Tuesdays, which is tomorrow.
Shut the fuck up!
It is Saturday. He's going to go get it tomorrow, which is a Tuesday. Yeah, I know too. So anyway, this video is to help him and you guys learn and understand the 14 weapon types in Monster World Hunter. Let's get started. I'm going to go through each of the 14, and I'm going to show you guys some combos in the training area, and then I'll let you guys pick. And, Brock, you're going to watch this video.
Hi!
And if you don't, I'm going to be pissed. So let's get
I'll
started.
watch the video eventually.
So again, there are 14 weapon types. Let's start with the first one. It's the Buster Sword. The Buster Sword
Uh-oh!
is a giant fucking sword. Bigger than your body.
No way.
Yes way.
Wouldn't have guessed.
It is humongous. I'm surprised you can even carry it. The Buster Sword doesn't have mobility, but what it makes it up for is extremely high powerful damage. Let me show you.
Totally wouldn't have guessed.
That did about 250 to 300 damage. Just that. That did about, I say 50 to 60. And then I actually didn't get the second one, so let me try that again.
So Travis.
That did about 45. And these are the basic starting combos. So again, very low mobility, extremely high damage. Let's move on to the second weapon, shall we? You can speak.
Does one of the opening scenes get copyrighted because it has music in it?
No, it gets. I don't know why. It's the scene after you create your character, which has no music, so actually no. This is the second weapon, the katana. Or the long sword, I should say. The long sword has a little bit more mobility and some very high damage than the Buster Sword. It's still very powerful. Let me demonstrate. That did probably 50 to 60 damage. And understand, these are all basic combos. Each weapon also has a special feature. The long sword has what we called a spirit gauge, which you fill up by doing damage. Once you have some spirit gauge filled, you can unleash powerful attacks. Let me get the spirit gauge full. Understand the enthusiasm of my voice as I am currently tired.
I'm not tired, I drink a Monster.
Alright, so this is the Spirit Blade combo, the middle one.
Thanks to Travis's video, which is sponsored by Monster.
Yeah.
Joking.
That did probably close to 100 damage. I'm thinking. I could be completely wrong. Finally, the last combo. Which I fucked up. So let's try that again.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how much damage that did, but that did a good amount of damage. So low high mobility, some good damage. overall, the longsword is probably the best choice for beginners. It does a good amount of damage with a good amount of mobility.
There's no way!
Yes way. You said that at the perfect time.
How? How did he not die? You
Let's
tell
go
me how
to
he
number
not died.
3. This is the sword and shield. Again, another good basic starting weapon. Very mobile. Doesn't do as much damage as the first two. But its special ability is you can guard, which will reduce
Whoa.
damage. And you can also do shield attacks. Let me demonstrate. I'm actually not going to demonstrate the shield right now. Alright.
Cool, dude.
Let me demonstrate the shield attack. That did probably about 100 damage. Just the shield alone.
That's a lot.
That did about 50 or so. So long sword again, very fast, very powerful. Used in the right hands, it can be a very good choice. Again, another amazing choice for beginners. Due to the shield. Yes, Brock.
Somebody touching my baguette!
This is baguette. Let's move on to number 4. The dual blades. The dual blades, as of the recording of this video, are my personal weapon. Its ability is called Demon Mode. While in Demon Mode, I believe you, no, you don't take extra damage. My bad. While in Demon Mode, you do extra damage, a lot of extra damage very quickly, but you also reduce stamina. The dual blades features are it's extremely highly mobile, not very defensive, but it can do a good amount of damage at super fast speeds. It's not as powerful as a longsword compared to each hit, but the combined hits will do enough to ruin anyone's day. Let me demonstrate. Now see, there's so many fucking numbers I can't count, so we're gonna assume that's 50. Oh, my fucking bad. Let's activate Demon Mode. Now watch this. That did close to about 200, 250 damage in Demon Mode. That one combo alone.
Nice.
Now I don't know how much damage that's gonna do, so let's try that again. That did probably about 150 damage. I fucked up on the last button. So again, very mobile, very fast, very mobile. Not so much damage per hit, but the amount of hits that you do per button press does give it a sizable advantage. And in Demon Mode, so far in Demon Mode, you do the most damage out of the 4 weapons we've already discussed. Let's move on. Now, I haven't gone through all the weapons, so you might experience some basic tutorials. That's fine. We'll learn this together. Welcome to the hammer.
The hammer is a mighty close-range weapon that can stun monsters with blows to the head.
See what I mean? We'll learn this together. So the hammer is actually pretty mobile compared to the fucking first one. Its ability is you can do a charged attack, as you can see. A charge attack lets you build up energy and then swing it for 12 damage. What an amazing feat. All that work for 12 damage.
What?
No, oh, nope, never mind. If you let it go all the way to that point, you will do probably about 60 damage. Let's do some combos. That did probably about, I say, let's try that again so I can actually read the fucking numbers. That did about 70 to 80 damage, not bad. That did about 60 or so damage.
Where are you going?
And that did a good amount of damage as well. Very powerful. Let's keep moving. I'm not going over a lot of detail. I'm just showing you guys basically the very brief introduction of these weapons, so you guys can make the decision yourself. Now let's go on to a fucking monstrosity. This is called the hunting horn. The hunting horn should not exist, but we need to have a support because this is an RPG. So the hunting horn is not very mobile. As you can see, I just almost blew myself up. But that's fine. It's not very mobile, and it doesn't do a lot amount of damage. The hunting horn's ability is that you can give yourself and your allies some buffs.
Wow.
Let me demonstrate. So I just gave myself a speed boost. I mean, the bagpipe does do some good amount of damage. However, its biggest asset, more than likely, actually, its biggest asset is the ability to, you know, give yourself boots. This goes from anything from increasing your defense and your health, to increasing attack, to movement speed, or wind pressure is negated, as you can see at the top right. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's probably a very important asset in this game. Let's move on. I feel like I want to die. Let's move on to the Iron Lance. Let's see what the fuck this one's... Oh yeah, the Lance. The Lance has basically the same basic ability as the sword and shield. Except this time you have a giant fucking metal stick to poke your opponents at. So you could be on the defense and the attack at the same time. What an amazing feature. Thank you, Capcom. We definitely needed this in this game. I'm not even going to bother to do the combos for this, because this fucking monstrosity is annoying. Let's move on. See, no mobility. Why would anyone fucking use this? We are halfway through. Now we're getting into some of the good stuff.
Hey, Cavi.
This is the gun lance. It is basically a giant lance and sword put into the helm of a giant revolver, allowing you to do melee damage. You also have a shield. Very nice. Its main feature is the fact that you can actually shoot shells close range at enemy opponents that do massive damage. For example, its downfall, though, is you have to reload. But if you press the circle and R2 button, it takes a whopping 2.5 seconds to reload. I know that's very slow for most players, but they'll get used to it. They could probably just put fast mags on. I'll probably do that. Let's move on. I'm not even gonna go through the combos of this.
What? Dude, I was... Oh,
I will discuss it. It doesn't have as much. It does not have as much mobility, but the combination of a lance and gun does allow for some excellent combos and some good DPS. For anyone that wants to have a little bit of gun fun in their sword fighting, this class is for you. Next up, we have the Proto Iron Axe. I have not used this weapon, so let's see what the fuck instructor has to say.
Switch axe has two
Fuck
forms,
instructor.
axe and sword. You can power up the sword attacks by
Is that what
injecting them
you
with
did?
file energy.
So welcome
You
to
gotta be
this. It's
kidding me.
basically the giant sword and axe. Its ability is that you can actually switch between a sword and an axe. The sword is like the giant sword. Very powerful, but not as much mobile. The axe does some good damage, not as much as this giant sword, but it's more mobile. Let's do some combos.
You sound like a cunt.
I don't know who the fuck this is.
Travis. Stop.
I just found a bullshit combo in this game. In axe form, if you just spam the shit out of the circle button, they're not gonna do anything. As long as you have some stamina, you can swing this bitch around as much as you want. Let's try the combo. Swing, 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 swing. Swing, 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 sword form. Fuck you. That actually did a lot of damage. The amount of damage on that combo depends on how much you spam the fuck out of the circle button. Now, this is the combo during an opening for the sword. Let's start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That. That did probably close to 400 damage.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I am not kidding you. Good weapon. Let's move on.
Fuck these kids.
Now
Oh
we're
my
into
God.
Proto Commission Axe. Let's see what the fucking instructor has to say about this one.
The charge blade has two forms, sword and axe. Store
Fucking
up energy in a
Smurfs.
file, then release it through the axe.
I smell like beef.
So this one is a combination of the sword and shield and the axe. However, you have to charge Phyllis, which I don't know what that is. Probably something to do with the sword. I mean the axe. I don't even know how to switch back, so I'm not even gonna bother. Pretty good weapon if you ask me. If you get used to it, of course. Let's move on. Alright, so we have 4 more weapons now. Let's check out the Iron Blade.
The insect glaive is a close-range weapon that lets you control kinsects.
So this weapon here, I think I've seen. So let's see if this is correct. Yep. So this weapon here, the insect glaive, has 2 features. One, as you see behind me, is it has a bug. Now this bug doesn't piss the fuck out of you like most bugs. This bug is actually a helpful bug. This bug will do some extra damage for you. The second feature is this weapon is the only weapon that will allow you to get into the air, where you can do mid-air combos to do extra damage and avoid enemy attacks. Very fast, very mobile, and it has a bug. I love it. I'm gonna name the bug Charles. The bug is Charles.
Bug.
Now, if I'm correct, the last 3 weapons are all ranged. So let's see what this is.
How?
This is the light blowgun.
The light bowgun is a lightweight ranged weapon that's great for quick attacks and maneuverability.
So this weapon here does ranged attacks. Let's see what it does. So this weapon does about per shell, it will do 3 shots. You have to reload it, of course, but that's fine. You can also use different ammo. We're not going to mess with the ammo. Let's see what the Wyvern Blast is. I don't know what the Wyvern Blast does, but maybe we'll find out eventually. Very mobile, very powerful. It's Fuckboy here. Brock, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright. We have 2 more to go. This is the Iron Assault, also known as the Heavy Bowgun. I wonder what it does.
The heavy bowgun is a high-powered ranged weapon. It does a lot of damage and lets you use more powerful ammo.
We're actually gonna load some special ammo. We're gonna load it with some Wyvern ammo. We'll see what Wyvern ammo does. We're out of range. Wyvern ammo gives you a fucking shotgun shell. This is a very good weapon. I already love it. Alright, so we're on to our final weapon now. The bow. Let's see what the bow does.
The bow is a ranged weapon you can charge. Focus on your distance while loosing arrows.
Bo Jackson. Damn. 34 seconds, my dude.
So the bow allows you to do some good damage over time. We have a Dragon Piercer too. Let's see what this does. That seems powerful. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 14 weapon types. I gave you a brief introduction and some combos concerning them, except for the ranged weapons, because fuck ranged weapons. You don't need combos. Again, my personal one right now are the Match Slicers, aka the Dual Blades. These things are very quick and fast. However, I might be considering using another weapon in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please tell me how much of a fuckboy I am down in the comments. Or dislike the video because of my voice. Unsubscribing is also a great feature, and it will help me become even more of a fuckboy over time. I hope you guys didn't enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys never. Thank you, and have a great day.